Hi everybody and welcome, this is the Apostate Prophet. Mohammed Hijab has just told me to kill myself. Yes, I'm talking about the Mohammed Hijab, currently one of the most popular Muslim apologists. To be honest, this is not that big of a surprise because Mohammed Hijab is a giant jerk, and he has basically built his image and his popularity around the fact that he's a scumbag. But he has really gone that far to tell me that I should commit suicide, that I should find a building and jump off. What happened is that Mohammed Hijab and I had a back and forth about a debate. I made him a debate offer, he rejected. I made him another debate offer, he rejected. I went forth again and he rejected. Eventually he accepted it. Then he rejected it again. Then he started insulting me and eventually just told me to commit suicide without even much heat. Not that there would be otherwise a justification to tell someone to commit suicide. He posted the following on Twitter. Apus. He is trying to mock me because he's a very tough guy. And in his very intelligent world, the world is divided between tough people, like strong people, and pussies. I'm sorry, he cannot say pussies because he's a Muslim, which is why he found a new word, or an old word, called pusillanimous, which he tries to pronounce as pusillanimous because he's not supposed to say pussy because he's a religious, pious Muslim, but he tricks Allah and the Muslim society by just saying pusillanimous instead. Very smart. I'm sure Allah is up there laughing. It's like, oh, I wouldn't have thought of that. This is the genius of Muslim apologetics. What an asshole. I want to give you sincere advice. I think you should commit suicide. Not because you are a talentless coward or because you are a waste of space. I think the world is offering you more pain than pleasure. It is not morally objectionable for you, so why not? A few minutes later, he posted, if I were an anxiety-ridden, hateful nihilist atheist like Apis, I would consider suicide as a serious option. That is because the world offers such humans more pain than pleasure. The pain of being a coward, the pain of having no purpose, just find a tall building and... First off, he's contradicting himself several times here, but he's known for being an asshole, not for being smart. Secondly, obviously, wow, telling someone to commit suicide and explicitly to find a tall building and... Thirdly, he has a very shallow understanding of the things that he mentions. Atheism, nihilism, suicide, morality. Being an atheist doesn't mean you are a nihilist. Being a nihilist doesn't mean you are depressed. Being a nihilist doesn't actually mean that nothing can be right or wrong for you, and that you can't have meaning in life. That's not what nihilism really is about. And all that especially doesn't mean that you should just commit suicide, because what is wrong with it? There is so much ignorance, so much stupidity in this. But he doesn't even have the courage to debate the topic, is Islam the truth? Which is why he eventually came to tell me to commit suicide. So I wouldn't really expect him to discuss nihilism with me. For example, a nihilist can think that there is no intrinsic meaning and no intrinsic moral value in life. But a nihilist can be a law-abiding citizen, help other people, be very happy, and live a very fulfilling life. He's also implying that my life is more pain than pleasure, and that I should therefore just kill myself. He later came and justified his encouragement to commit suicide after he was called out by Cosmic Skeptic, for example. These tweets didn't stay here for an hour. He deleted them after just 5 minutes. He didn't delete them because he thought, okay, I went too far. This is wrong. No, he made a video the next day and explained how he was just trying to make a point. He doesn't actually think that it is wrong to say these things. The reality is that he loses his mind very quickly and says very absurd and very awful things. And here in this case, he deleted his tweets because he doesn't want to get in trouble with Twitter. He doesn't want to get in trouble with the law. And he doesn't want to make Islam look bad, which is, to be very honest, not very hard to do because, I mean, if this guy is one of the biggest representatives of Islam in our time, he should just go on. Mohammed Hijab is actually projecting here. He is a man who projects his feelings upon others a lot. He tells me that there is more pain than suffering in my life, which is why I should just kill myself because there is nothing wrong with it. Mohammed Hijab made a tweet a while ago, which goes like, life is all about pain management, and then you die. That's something I could have said in a moment of sadness and deep thinking. But it wouldn't actually be true. I don't think life is all about pain management, and then you die. That there is so much suffering in life that you just need to manage it until you die. I think that there is a lot of suffering in life, but that life is more neutral than positive or negative, and that you can mostly live a very fulfilling life. In fact, I do. Without Islam, by the way. I am very happy. It looks like I'm much happier than Mohammed Hijab is. If I'm supposed to just commit suicide because my life offers more pain than happiness, then I wonder what that says about Mohammed Hijab himself. Mohammed Hijab seems to be very deeply disturbed and seems to have very strange frustrations, which is why he comes to my live stream with David Wood and spams the live chat with very strange things. Like, first you come in as a gimp, and then David Wood slaps you, and then he gives you a golden shower. Or David Wood can give you a golden shower. Or get on your knees. Which is very strange. This is supposed to be the religious Muslim apologist. This is stuff that I wouldn't say in public to people. And I know a Muslim follower of Mohammed Hijab will say, but why? Because there is no right and wrong for you. No, that's not really how this works. Please, learn basic philosophy or shut the hell up. The issue is that Mohammed Hijab hates me, as he has told me before. In Mohammed Hijab's world, there is nothing wrong with me committing suicide. He wouldn't feel bad about it. In fact, he would rejoice over it. Because he is ideologically, religiously supposed to hate me, which is why he hates me. He's supposed to love for Allah and hate for Allah. In his ideal world, I would be executed under an Islamic rule because I have left Islam. Let's not even come to me criticizing and mocking Islam, which goes way too far for him. Yes, unfortunately, Mohammed Hijab thinks like this and even hates white people and considers them our masters, but he lives in the UK. If you are like him, you should please just get out. My message is very simple. It goes to people who support Mohammed Hijab and to people who are superiors of Mohammed Hijab, who embrace him, who host him, who recognize him. If I came out and encouraged someone to commit suicide, that would be very much the end of me. I would, from then on, find it everywhere, on every social media platform, brought up by Muslims all the time. I would never do that, because I'm not such a terrible person. I wouldn't encourage anyone to commit suicide. Although I know that Mohammed Hijab is a very deeply troubled person, that he is very depressed and he has big frustrations, which he lets out on the rest of society in very disgusting ways. I would never encourage him to commit suicide. No, I would encourage Mohammed Hijab to go and seek help. I think Mohammed Hijab definitely needs professional help from mental health professionals. He should figure out what's wrong with him, although I kind of know what's wrong with him. My message is to all those people to reconsider Mohammed Hijab, to think about what he said, to think about the fact that he just encourages people to commit suicide. And I don't even care about his apology. He will not apologize, and even if he apologizes, his apology will be merely symbolic, so that he can free himself from guilt. Stop supporting this guy. Stop following this guy. Stop making excuses. It only makes you all look very bad. And I believe you already are very deep in that problem. I know there will be Muslims here in the comment section who support Mohammed Hijab and who will tell me stuff like, oh, you're playing the victim, aren't you? I don't know what you think this is. I'm not getting sad or anxious. I'm not being scared of suicide. I'm not wanting to commit suicide because Mohammed Hijab has told me to commit suicide. I genuinely feel angered about this because there are many people, even in Mohammed Hijab's own audience, who probably know somebody who has committed suicide, who have somebody close who has committed suicide, who have attempted suicide themselves. People who know how hard this is. It is simply disgusting to make light of this matter. You're not really making yourself look very good in front of the public eye. You shouldn't then go out and blame everybody for Islamophobia and for false perceptions about Muslims. You should first make sure that you represent yourself and your religion in an appropriate way, and so far you are not doing a very good job. Please don't tell anybody to commit suicide. Please don't tell anybody to get golden showers. Don't talk about morality and philosophy if you don't really understand it. Sit down, calm down, and seek help. You really need it. And please, everybody, stop encouraging the clown. It's gotten to his head, and it's not funny anymore. Please don't commit suicide. No one wants to die. Some people are just very overwhelmed or have mental struggles, which makes them want to commit suicide, which goes against the very nature of a person who naturally wants to keep existing. Life is good, no matter how much people like this want to make it terrible, just because their life sucks so much, which I find sad, to be very honest. Thank you so much. I will be back very quickly. Take care and stay away from Islam. Maybe I should talk about golden showers next.